Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and I'm back for another Walking Dead video. It's been a while, my friends. Missed you guys very much. As we approach 2022, this is going to be the beginning and startup of videos covering Clementine Book 1, which is the continuation of Clementine's story after the end of the final season, and a direct continuation of Clementine Lives, the comic book that came out this past July. I am very excited to get started with some theories and some topics covering Walking Dead related stuff. Plus, once Life is Strange ends, after the remaster comes out in February and all that, this will probably be one of the main things I'll be focusing on, alongside Telltale games and The Wolf Among Us 2 and The Expanse. If you guys missed all that stuff, links in the description down below to all that, and card at the top right. So, we're going to be discussing returning characters that we could potentially see in Clementine Book 1. It has been confirmed that Clementine's past is going to be a big point of emphasis in Book 1. And remember, this is a trilogy, so there's 3 books. So we may get a returning character or 2 in Book 1. It could be in Book 2. Could even be in the final book, Book 3. We'll have to wait and see for that. Now, we already know Lee is going to be in Book 1, as there's been comic book pages that have been shown of him. Now, I want to make this very clear. This is Lee in terms of a dream/flashback. This is not Lee in the present. Lee, remember, died in Season 1, so he's not going to be back from the dead. No, it's just going to be Clementine probably having, dreams and nightmares, seeing him again, and all that. We could potentially see other characters as well that have died in Clementine's past, such as Kenny, Luke, Jane, her parents potentially, even potentialities such as Luke. Now, I want to make this very clear. Those are characters that could return, but I want to talk about characters that are still alive. Mainly, that's what I want to talk about. Of course, there are some big names that I have been talking about on this channel for years that we could potentially see back. And I think you guys know a couple of them when I start, throwing them off on a list here. So before I start here, if you guys do enjoy this, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe. Join about the near 40% of people that are subscribed by hitting that red subscribe button. And be sure to hit that all notification bell. Join about the 91,000 people that have that all notification bell hit. Let's try to get 100,000 people with that all notification bell. You won't miss any videos or streams if you do this. And remember, next year is the 10-year anniversary of The Walking Dead Season 1. We've got a lot of stuff in regards to that. And also, Clementine Book 1 comes in June. So you're going to want to be subscribed with all notifications. Let's try to hit 2,000 likes on this, since it's been a theory, and it's been a dang minute since I've done a theory. So, hope you guys do enjoy this. Let me know your list down below in the comments of characters you'd like to see, and let's get straight into it.
I have to ask, because it's the Walking Dead universe. There's tons of fan favorite characters in this huge universe that Kirkman, has co-created and stuff like that. So, are we going to see any familiar faces from the Walking Dead's, lore, or from Clem's past?
It's a good question, one that I cannot disclose, unfortunately. But Clementine's past, I will say, will be a big part of the book, because
okay.
How could it not be?
Okay, so I'm gonna take that as a yes. You didn't say yes, but I'm gonna say yes.
Number 1, I'm gonna state something just broad: comic book characters. Now, I am not one that has read a lot of Walking Dead comic books, if not any, to be honest. I got into The Walking Dead through mainly the game and some of the TV show. So a potentiality that was referenced in that audio clip I just played was, The Walking Dead's lore. It's not just the video games. And now that this is directly a comic book, we've seen comic book characters in the Walking Dead Telltale series before. Jesus, Glenn, Michonne. I'm not saying they're going to be as big of a name as those, but we could see any of those potentially return, and maybe they'll run into Clementine. Now, Book 1 is in a ski lodge in Vermont with the Amish boy named Amos, or Amos. I don't know how to say his name, but the whole correlation here is that we could run into a potential comic book character. Maybe an old one, returning one from the Walking Dead Telltale series, or a new one in general. A lot of people that have read the comic books can probably think of a lot of names I probably don't even know of that could return in this. So that's just a broad general topic. So number 1 would just be comic book related characters. All right, let's move on to my next character. If there is one character that I would want, number 1, fate of the universe on the line, like one that I've wanted for years now, Krista. I keep saying it. Krista's been confirmed alive so many dang times at this point. I thought, damn, she's going to show up in the final season. But they had a choice between Krista and Lily, and they took the choice of picking Lily. So now, you have an opportunity to bring back a fan favorite character in a comic book / book series that is not very popular, with the fans. Bringing Krista back could potentially be on the good side with a lot of people, as long as they explain it well. And I'm not saying Tilly's going to do it, but seeing Krista back after all these years and finally being able to catch up with Clementine, potentially, having them meet up would be such a W in my personal opinion. And I think this is something that has to happen, whether it's in another game or it's in these books. Krista, I think really there's not many characters that I could say were instrumental to Clementine's story that in Krista were. Krista was a very instrumental character. We have to forget there were months, the game, remember the game had a big time skip in season 2 between, what happened with Omid to, when they're in the forest. I'm just saying, Krista had a huge impact on Clementine. Seeing them interact, even if it isn't a comic book / book, would be pretty special. My third one would be Molly, a character that I feel has been forgotten by a lot of fans, that I think could make a surprise appearance. Would be very, very cool. I don't think her chances are high, because, considering her, ending was such a long time ago now. I'm hopeful, though, that we inevitably get to see Molly again, or at least hear about her, because I feel like her character had a lot of potential to, get more stuff related to it. So that would leave the next group, which I think is more, anything related to season 3 would be my next group of characters. Now, mainly I want to focus on the Garcia family. They have been confirmed alive as well. Javier and the remnants of the Garcia family, there's a lot of determinants. David, Gabe, and Kate are all determinants. So I don't know if they'd pop up. But Javier is one that I've always said is an underrated character, one that deserves his own spin-off game. I think, considering that Clementine referenced Richmond at the end of the final season, and that there was a war going on, why not have Javier pop up? Why not have him, show up? I think it needs to happen, because, again, we could throw out of season 3 characters like Joan, Clint, any of the New Frontier, Dr. Lingard, but those are all determinants, so we don't know entirely with all of them. So, big question mark there with them, but I think the Garcia family definitely need to be considered to have an appearance, especially Javier. My next character would be Arvo. You could even throw in Mike on this one as well. That group at the end of season 2 that betrayed us. Seeing Clementine interact with one of them after the events of the second season, I think it would be something a lot of fans would crave for. Seeing how Clementine would react, seeing someone that betrayed them like that, especially Arvo. I think revenge would be 100% on the board if Clementine were to run into Arvo or Mike. And I hope, Tilly considers it. Just throw up one of them, I think definitely that is something that should be highly considered. My last option is anyone from the final season. AJ, we know, was already in the first Clementine comic book, and it seems like he's going to stay at the school. So I'm not saying any of the kids from the boarding school are going to pop up. Maybe we'll get a surprise appearance from one of them. I would just hope that the final season is not forgotten, because it seems like everything they're doing with this comic book is that, yeah, we're just going to basically scrap the final season, pretend it never existed, just leave AJ at the school, just start up a new journey. I really hope they bring somebody back from the final season. I really do. I think it's needed. And it just would be a disservice to the fans, I feel, if you just forgot about every dang character that was important to Clementine in season 4. Hopefully that isn't the case. But, besides that, those are pretty much all the characters I'd like to see. Personally, in book 1, I think we're going to get a comic book related character. I'm going to take a guess and say it's a name we haven't gotten before. I don't know who specifically it will be, but it will be probably someone that has been referenced before in the comics that we have never seen before, I think. And would be in reference to a returning character to the comic books, not the Telltale Walking Dead series. We'll have to wait and see on that. But I'm hoping by the end of this 3-book trilogy we get to see Krista again, though. That is my number one that I really, really want, that I hope will happen. So leave a comment down below what characters you'd like to see return in this Clementine 3-book trilogy. So thank you guys so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this, be sure to drop a like and subscribe. And I'll catch y'all in the next video. Let me know if you have any theory videos or topics you'd like me to cover in regards to Clementine Book 1. And we'll catch y'all later. Peace.
I wish I had something more to give you.